Where is Christopher? You can put that we're live on Twitch. You can put that we're live on Twitch.
Wait, what the hell? I never signed in. What the fuck? I never signed in.
You're signed in on these computers.
I didn't. Okay, but look at the screen. It says my name already.
Yeah, once you sign in on the computer, you're in.
Oh, it just automatically puts your username in.
If nobody used it, it'll show the last person that used it, which was you.
Mine was. I haven't been at this computer for forever.
Nobody uses it.
Four meetings. I haven't been at this computer.
What? Yeah, I don't care. You shouldn't, but I don't care.
Like, I haven't been on this computer forever.
Code. Scan it. Scan. We haven't been scanning at all lately. Yeah, we keep forgetting on Mondays because it's Vincent's job. He forgot.
Yo, so are we doing anything for the B-Sides conference?
Yeah, we are. It's in USF.
Yeah, I know.
And it's free for us to get in.
I know.
So that's cool. Like 40, 50 bucks? Wait, how much is it? 40, 80 bucks?
No, it's $25.
25.
It's
Student.
not technically free.
Yeah, it's free for us because we use it.
The B-Sides conference.
Are we all going as a big group?
We are. I think we're going to participate with everything in there. What's up? With the WebGoat thing? The WebGoat? It stopped downloading? Let's try downloading it again. Oh, it keeps failing? All right. I'll come help you. Did you get it up and running, Vince? Hey, Shauna. That's good. What's wrong with this? That's it. So create a new, no, don't control C. So what you want to do is you want to start it up, the first one, so that's WebGoat, right? So you start it, and then you create a new tab. I'm going to go through it in a second just to make sure everyone, you can do Control-Shift-T to create a new tab, and then you do the other command with the web both. Yeah. I'll go through it real quick to get, you got it up? Okay. All right. Is that a beer? No, it's not a beer. Where's the beer, man? Okay. All right, everyone's good? Everyone scanned it in? I'm trusting you guys. Okay, let's full screen this. Actually, let's do this, and then let's... where is it? Let me mute this real quick. You can still see it on the side. All right. Okay. All right, ready to go? So how many of you got WebGoat set up? Were the instructions good? You guys thought they're having the commands on there? I'm going to start adding like descriptions of the command as well. That way, I think having documentation is the best way. Like Jay wrote a script for you to run and then it'll do everything for you. But I was like, we could do that, but then we'll have documentation for it if we do it this way, so we can refer to it at any moment and et cetera, right? So I think it's better if we have like a PDF with like pictures and commands and stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna go through the setup real quick in front of everybody, just so the people that are having problems. So first you open up terminal, you wanna update everything, so I'm gonna do that command. I already updated, so it shouldn't take long. It doesn't matter what OS you're on. We just said Ubuntu because that's the one we've been using. But if you have Kali or you have Pear or whatever, it'll be just fine. So you'll see it's going to do a full update. It's going to take a couple seconds because I've already done it. And then after you're done with that, you want to go ahead and download this. So let me copy that. So I'm going to go open my terminal or my Firefox. Okay. I'm going to download the WebGoat server and WebWolf. So I'm going to save this somewhere where I can find it easily. It's probably going to put it just in downloads at first. Okay. I'm going to close these. And then I'm going to go into my downloads folder. And then you're going to see the 2 jar files, right? You probably don't have Java, and so I don't either. So I'm going to go ahead and paste that in there. So I can install Java real quick, because you need Java to run this. It's a Java application. So we're going to go ahead and do that real quick. No problem so far with anybody installing Java? Everything's good? Anybody not have it working? Everyone got Java installed? Last call? Okay. I'll give mine a couple of seconds. Now this is the part I got a couple of questions on. There's 2 commands, but once you run the first one, it kills your shell, or it doesn't kill it, it hangs your shell, because it's a process that's running. There's 2 ways to do it. You can open up 2 different terminals, run the first one, and then second terminal, run the second one. Or you can add something at the end that puts it in the background. What is that thing? Ampersand. You guys remember that? With our practice, you put an ampersand at the end, and then it'll put it in the background, and then you can run the second command after. And that's what I'm going to be doing. So that way I'm only using up 1 terminal. So I'm just going to actually just copy this. Is that dash server address? Host. Okay. And then I just got to make sure that the WebGoat Java version is correct. So for us, it's 2.2 right now. That's the latest version. I'm going to hit, at the end, I'm going to add an ampersand. And then you'll see it's gonna still put things on my screen, but I can still type commands after. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to copy the next one. I'm going to let it do its thing first, because it's going to be annoying. And then eventually, it'll be done. Okay. So now it's done. So I'm going to come over here, come back over here, get the right version going, and then hit enter. And let that go through, and then we should be good to go. Make sense? Anybody have any problems doing that? Or if it's a little annoying for you, what you can do is open up another terminal and run the second command. Just make sure if it's in downloads, CD into downloads first, and then run the second command, and then you'll have both in these terminals. And then whenever you're done with it, all you have to do is go back and Control-C, and you'll kill the process, and you'll kill the server, and you'll be back to not having WebGoat running. So it's really easy. And also, like for example, if I run this, I want to come back and run it again. I just have to keep clicking the up arrow, and then it's back up if I want to do that again. Or just refer back to the documentation, and you have that command ready for you to just run it so you can practice at home, okay? So pretty straightforward, pretty simple. And then the last part was to go to this web page, which is localhost, which means what? What does localhost mean? Your IP on the VM, only accessible to by you. Nobody else can access it but you, because it's only on your machine. And why is it on localhost? Because in the command, we gave it the server address, which was localhost only. If we wanted it to be publicly available, I could put 0.0.0.0, and it'll use it on every address, so you guys can connect to me. But we're not allowed to do that on USF network, so we'll keep it to localhost. Okay? So I'm going to full screen this now. Anybody have any problems? Everyone got everything running? Okay, you're fine, Jake. The first time was on purpose. This one was an accident. This one was an accident. All right, I'm going to open up my Firefox. All right. Let's go to this website. 8080 webgo. Yeah. Admin lead. All right. Everyone here? So at this point, you can just register a new user. There's no admin user or anything. So go ahead and register a new user. I'm going to call it Coolio. And then I'm going to put a password. And then you just have to agree with terms and conditions. Sign up. And we're in. So usually you do this type of thing on your own, right? And the reason I say that is because it has a lot of writing. There's a lot of writing, and it goes not very in depth, but it's very in detail in the sense where you will understand what's happening. And it's like kind of a walkthrough type of thing, very similar to Try Hack Me. The reason I like this more is because it's made by OWASP, so that their entire objective is web application pen testing. So you know it's going to be good. And I tried it, and it was good. So so we're looking at the intro page. Zoom in a little bit. It says it's a Java-based web application, and it has common and popular open source components. It's very vulnerable in the sense where they allow it to be vulnerable. What is this? Yeah, and then it's your own little thing, so you can't get in trouble for hacking it, right? So that's a thing that's important. Another thing you'll notice is that there'll be numbers up here, and that will go order in each lesson. You'll have numbers as you go. So obviously in the introduction, or I don't even know that this is part of the introduction. Yeah, the introduction will have just 1, and then you'll see as we keep going, it'll have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. And then you'll have the challenges to solve at the bottom. And then if you want to restart, you click reset lesson and try it again, right? So another couple things to notice. You have more about stuff here. You have a bunch of emails if you want to talk to people, developers, etc., etc. You got to give them credit because they made this. And then finally, I think this is your statistics. So there's 32 lessons, how many you've solved, how many you've done, etc., etc., etc. I'm pretty confident there's walkthroughs online, but it is already a walkthrough. So it'll help you doing it. Just if you read everything on the page, you will most likely be able to solve the challenge, right? But again, et cetera, et cetera. They have the lessons names and et cetera. And then they have a whole lot of really cool exploits that you will see on CTFs mainly. They do have things that will work in like a pen testing environment, but obviously pen testing is just the next level after CTFs. So, all right, let's get going. So that's WebGoat. Now let's look at WebWolf real quick. It's usually a lot faster, but because I'm streaming right now and my laptop is garbage. So WebWolf is like the next step, I'm pretty sure. It's separate. It's on port 9090 or 9000? 9090, yeah. And it says, it's going to say like you don't need WebWolf, etc., but it has other stuff. It can receive files, it can host files, etc. It's pretty cool. We'll look at it later, but I think it's the next level after WebGoat, so we'll stick to WebGoat first. And then WebGoat itself uses parts of WebWolf in some of the challenges, so it's good to have both up and running at the same time. And they're very lightweight, as you notice, because we downloaded them in less than 20 minutes, and that's very rare. All right, let's click on General. So it's going to talk about a few things. Proxies, HTTP proxies, Zap proxies. Zap is Burp Suite, but free and made by OWASP. So we talked about Burp Suite on Friday for the people that came on Friday. Zap is literally just Burp Suite. It's free and open source. So it's pretty cool. That's why they have it on here. You know, they're repping their own product. But like I said, you'll see you have next pages, etc. They kind of give you the title of the next page. And then they have the numbers over here. So let's go to number 2. And then you'll see the difference between these and the 6 one is because 6 probably has something for you to enter. That's why it's red. So if I go to 6 real quick, we're going to skip a little bit. Scroll down. You have a submit bar down here, and you have to answer, right? So they're telling us to download Zap and use it because Zap is good. But I think Burp Suite would be better. But they probably want us to use Zap because that's their application. They do have I think if you just keep going, it literally just teaches you how to set up Zap. So Zap 2.8 is old, I think. What's the latest version of Zap? I think I have it. So Zap-V. Zap-V. Yeah, I'm on 3. Oh, that's zip. Oops. I don't have Zap. Oh, don't have Zap. Apt dash search or apt search apt dash cache search Zap. Zap Proxy. So it should be called Zap Proxy with 1 P. I'm not sure if Debian or Ubuntu has it. Does it have it? It shouldn't have it, I would say. But if you're on Kali, you should have it. If you don't have it on Ubuntu, it doesn't? Yeah. If you don't have it, I think they do have, like, you can install the Zap from here. So if you click on the thing, it'll take you to number 3, and then it teaches you how to install it. Where is the link, though? Let me go back one. Let me give you guys the link for Zap. Zap Proxy on Ubuntu. Oh, it's on snap. So do sudo snap install Zap Proxy. So it should look like this. Sudo snap install Zap Proxy, like that. It should be on snap for the Ubuntu users. Let me know if that works. Did that go through? It went through for you, EJ?
Assuming it worked, or no, it gave me an error.
It gave you an error?
Yeah, it says the revision of the snap Zap proxy published using a classic environment and performs arbitrary system changes outside of
Okay. Try to do sudo snap install Zap Proxy dash dash classic. Yeah, dash dash classic at the end. For whatever reason, you need to add the dash dash classic. Classic. Let me know if that works for everybody on Ubuntu. Anybody not working for them? If you're on Kali, it's just sudo apt install the usual way. I'm gonna give it a minute because I see some people have their heads in their monitors. Christopher, working? Christopher?
What?
It's working?
No, I'm troubleshooting a Java problem. So
Okay. Everybody else up to speed? Okay. Yeah, it should be pretty quick though. It's pretty lightweight, just like WebGoat. Okay, let's keep going real quick. It's gonna teach us how to set it up. Pick no for the persist Zap session. It's gonna be kind of annoying, and it's gonna store up a lot of files if you don't. So always click no, and then go to. Oh, okay. So this is actually gonna be kind of useful to think about. So since WebGoat works on port 8080, we can't use the same Burp Suite configuration for port 8080. We're gonna have to, or like for Zap, I guess in this scenario. So let me open up Zap real quick, so I can show you guys what I mean. So we're gonna have to change the local proxy to on Zap to 8090, and then in Foxy Proxy, who doesn't have Foxy Proxy? You don't have it? Go to Firefox add-ons and just type Foxy Proxy standard. Real quick for everybody else, because I don't think I have it either. I'll do it here. So I'm gonna go to add-ons, and in the search section, I'm gonna type Foxy Proxy. And it's the first one right here. The 3 slashes on the top right, and then add-ons and themes in the middle. And then just click add to Firefox, and then we'll quickly set it up because I have to set it up so we might as well do that.
I think I have like a proxy, something running on 8080 that's not letting me launch WebGo. I tried to change.
Yeah, so it's gonna tell you when you, do you have Zap open?
Yeah, I'm on Kali.
You have Zap open.
Oh, sorry. Give me a second.
You have Burp Suite open?
Yeah.
Close Burp Suite. We're gonna be using, you can use Burp Suite if you want. It's very similar. You'll notice.
I had it
It's-
open.
So whenever you open up Zap, since we already have WebGo open on port 8080, it's gonna be like, hey, there's an error going on. So we're gonna move it to 8090, okay? So it's gonna tell you, what do you wanna try? And then we're gonna do 8090, okay? 8090. So we're gonna hit yes. And then it's gonna ask us if you wanna persist it. We're gonna hit no. I do not wanna persist this session at the moment in time. And then click start. And now, it's going to tell us there's a lot of updates. I'm going to close it for now. We can update it later. Okay? Okay, and we're on Zap version 2.11, so hopefully. So the add-on is Foxy Proxy. Everyone's good? Is anyone asking anything? What? Yeah. Just open up like the little thing in the top left, or if you're on Ubuntu, just whatever your applications is, and just type Zap. Yeah. Yeah, 8090, 8090. Yeah.
When you got to the add-on manager in Zap Proxy, did you just hit update all or did you hit close?
I just hit close. We can update it later. It's gonna take a while. I don't know if you saw there's like 300 packages to update. We'll leave it for later. No. For Zap. Zap, whenever you open it, it's going to ask you, hey, what port do you want to do this on? Because 8080 is taken. Make sure you pick 8090, okay? So let me move on from here. So for the people that don't have Foxy Proxy, so once you install it, you'll see it in the top right, over here, the little fox. You're going to click on it, and then click Options. Okay, Foxy Proxy, top right, click on it, click Options after you install it. And then we're gonna click Add on the left. Let me click OK here. It's annoying. Name it anything you want in the title section. I'm just gonna call it Burp because I'm only gonna use Burp usually. And then for the proxy IP, we're gonna do 127.0.0.1. You want it localhost. And then for the port, we're going to do 8090 because that's what Zap is running on, okay? Because we want Zap to be able to intercept our requests and you know, allow us to edit and whatnot, right? Because we're using it as a web proxy. So I'm actually going to add 8090 in my title so I know that this is an 8090 proxy and not an 8080 proxy. Okay? And at this point, we can hit save. And then it'll save it and it'll be good to go. Right, 127.0.0.1, 8080, or 8089, sorry. And I'm gonna close all of this. And now in the top right, you'll see it again, right? And then you can click on it and then pick Burp 8090 or whatever you named it. Click on the configuration you made. And then you should be able to start intercepting requests. So I recommend keeping it off for now, but that's how you turn it on. So real quick, we're going to go back to WebGo. So here it's telling us to put on port 8090, et cetera, et cetera. So we're going to move on to 7. It says use the edit and resend functionality in Zap. So let's see. Let's look at the example. So go to the page webgo/webwolf/mail right here. So on page, what are we on? 7? Actually, I lied. Go to 6. Let's test it out. Let's make sure it's working. So go to 6, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and turn on your Foxy Proxy. Okay? So when we hit submit, they have, so at the bottom down here, You can submit whatever data you want. So I'm going to say EJ is cool, right? And whenever we hit submit, as long as this is working properly, it should intercept it here. Hopefully. It might not be working like I want it to. So session properties. Where do I go to settings? Not here. I thought we changed the port to 8090. Tools and then options. So let's go to tools and then go to options at the bottom. And then we're gonna go down to local proxies. It is on 8090. So that should work technically. So now let's move on to 4. It's the same thing. It might. Let me double check. I think we might be just missing something. Okay, so this is just quality of life stuff. But we can do that. So let's go to filter requests and history panel. So in the main Zap window, click filter. So let me save this because this is fine. And then we got to go to filter. You guys see filter down here? You guys see that little like whatever it's called? The what? Yeah, funnel. Yep, that's the word I was looking for. And then do .*webgo*. Or you can just go to page, what is it, 5? Go to page 5 and copy it in. Make sure you don't get it wrong. In the URL inc regex. Make sure there's no white lines before and after. I don't know if that's going to change anything. And then go back. Sorry.
There's that filter in the bottom left, right?
What?
There was the filter in the bottom left that we clicked on.
Yeah, the little funnel.
Yeah.
So click funnel, and that's pretty much copy what they did. What this does is it'll make sure that your session will only capture requests from these websites that have WebGoat in it. That way, if you go to Google, you can do that. And then finally, I think we're good at this point. Yeah, if you go to page 5, you'll see it .*lesson.star.mvc. I got it from the bottom of page 5. So I'm gonna go to 6 now, and then apparently we have to set up a breakpoint filter. Stutter contains post. Oh, I see. Okay. So once we apply, we're good to go. And if we want to start intercepting, I think we can just click the green one. So now if I come down here and I click submit, nothing's coming in. Still.
On your browser, it says 8080, but aren't you intercepting on 8090?
Yes, with Foxy Proxy. Let me make sure I didn't say 8090 and typed 8080. Okay, yeah. Is it working for you guys? Okay. Let me figure this out. So let's click on this X. And then we're going to do request header contains, right? Yep. Request header contains post. Okay. So that little X mark in the top, request header contains post, and then hit save. And then it says do not use the green buttons anymore. Just hit the play or whatnot button. Intercept and modify request. Set up the intercept as noted above. Okay, so now I think we should be good. Submit. Oh. There you go. That didn't add a breakpoint like I wanted it to. This is annoying. They didn't save it. There you go. Let's try this. Request header contains post. So. Oh, this should have worked. What's going on? The green button once. I'm going to restart it. To install it? Zap install, or Zap, sudo snap install Zap -- classic.
They use their own browser from the.
They're using the Zap browser? They're using the Zap browser or whatever? That might be the difference. If this gives me trouble for another 2 more minutes, I'm going to switch back to Burp, which is so much easier. So I'm going to ignore these updates. Probably why. So this says set break on all requests, which I don't care about right now. I just want a request. So I'm going to try to go to Google. It's not intercepting it though. It just knows that it's going through a proxy. You know what I mean? Not just adding custom breakpoints. No. It's just Foxy Proxy is going to route everything to 127. I think I'm going to try what Riley said. Just because why not? I don't really think that's going to make a difference. But I'm going to put this as 127.0.0.1. But if it does, yay. Yeah. Okay. Let's just switch over to Burp. It is 100 times easier. Okay. Who has Burp installed? Who doesn't have Burp installed? Okay, a couple people. It's really easy. I think it's on Snap. So do here. Burp install on Snap. Oh my gosh. Make sure you turn off your proxy after this. We're going to use WebGo. Zap? Yeah, no, I think we're going to ignore Zap for now. I'll figure it out and then we'll move back to it next meeting. Okay, I'm going to give you guys the Burp Suite, Community Addiction. Burp Suite is just so much more user friendly. There's a lot less buttons and more actual words on the screen. Okay, here. Throw this in the Discord.
See, I was wondering why I couldn't access like the web interface in the past 15 minutes. I didn't realize you're supposed to copy and paste it as local. Why do we copy and paste it as local host and not the IP?
Of WebGoat?
Yeah, for web though, why don't we connect using our IP? Why don't we type in local host? Because like every other web instance, like edit that you actually type in your own IP.
By putting on localhost, you make sure nobody else can access it but you.
So like even my other VMs couldn't access it?
No. Only the person coming from localhost, which means the person.
Like my other VMs could access it.
Because Metasploitable was run on 0.0.0.0, which means any address. So it runs on localhost and also runs on its IP. So just because something on your IP, hosted on your IP, means that other people can access it. Something hosted on localhost means only you can access it.
I was just pissed because I didn't realize you had to copy and paste it as local host.
Yeah. Okay, download Burp. It is so much easier. Once you have it downloaded, it's going to be, I'll just go ahead and download it. It's a little bit bigger. So let me save. Did you close all instances of everything else? Do like a netstat dash tulmp. Yeah. It can only be a temporary project since it's community edition. So once you have it downloaded, real quick, you go to downloads, and then you'll see a bash script, burp suite underscore community blah 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 .sh at the end. And you just want to type bash and then the file name, and then hit enter, and then a little installer comes up just like regular Windows installers, and then you can just go through with that and you'll be good to go. Okay? For the people that don't have it, that's all you do and you should be good to go. One thing I'm going to have to do though is change the port on Burp Suite to 8090, and we're going to do that together. Yeah. It's going to say because it's running on port 8080.
No, it's for Java 17 plus. Yeah, please supply the following VMs. That exact same error again.
Okay, that's fine. So I'm going to Control C, and I'm going to copy all of this. And I'm going to type Burp Suite with these flags. Is it one or the other? That is frustrating. It's because we installed. Yeah. Yeah, you can just close Zap. This is turning into a garbage show very quickly. If you want. Let me see what this does. Thank you, Chris. What? Yeah, you already have it, I'm pretty sure. Is it giving you an error? You got it open? Yeah, I think it's only on Kali. Let me see what's going on. Only people on Kali getting error, right? Yeah. Are you on Kali, John?
Yeah.
I wonder if reinstalling it fixes it, so I'm reinstalling. I sent it on Discord. Okay. So let's try that. No. This is a little bit more promising, but I don't know if it's crashing or it's just loading. It worked though? Okay. Oh, it didn't work. That's cool. So, what do you do? After installing what? Zap? I don't know if we're going to be using Zap, but we're probably going to end up using Zap. It's kind of being annoying right now. I want to use Burp. Let me try this. Okay, there you go. So don't type it in the terminal. The old version doesn't work. So the old version is just called Burp Suite for the people on Cali. The one we installed is Burp Suite Community Edition. So if you click on Community Edition, it'll work after you reinstall it. Yeah. They're both Community Edition, but the one that comes with Kali doesn't work for whatever reason. So I'm just going to not bother. Yeah. It is outdated for sure because it tells me to update it every time I open it. Okay. Yeah, we're going to do Burp Suite. I put the link in Discord. So real quick, before we get in, I'm going to go into use configuration library. Where is, no, not configuration library. I'm going to go into proxy, options, and then I'm going to edit this. Okay. So I clicked on proxy tab on the top, and then I went to options, and then click on the one you want to edit and click edit. And then we're going to change it from 8080 to 8090. And then just click OK. And keep it as loopback only. It'll be fine. Yeah. Yeah, I'll come. So that's that. And then it should be 127.0.0.1 on 8090. And we'll have
8090 if we're running the web server on 80.
web servers on 8080. You don't want to capture every request. You only want to capture the requests you want to capture. Let's go.
It's fine. It's a download button, so it's strange.
Oh yeah, that's fine. It's a bash script.
Okay, that's just the bash script.
So you want to download it and save it as a file.
Okay, save.
Yeah, save it somewhere and then open it up in downloads folder and just hit bash and then the script file. Bash space the script and it'll open up an installer. Everybody has Burp installed? Everyone's good? You got it, Brandon? Brandon? You got it? Okay.
Sam, where do we tell WebGoat to use port 8090?
You don't tell WebGoat. We use Foxy Proxy. Yeah, we're going to be using Foxy Proxy. We're going to configure it for 8090. Okay? All right, we can move forward now. So let's quickly test it. And the way we're going to test it is by clicking proxy, and then we're going to go to intercept, right? And then we're going to pick intercept is on. So we're going to click, it probably says intercept is off. Click intercept is on. Switch over to WebGoat, scroll down to the bottom, and hit submit. And then make sure all the changes are not, you never know. Oh, sorry. Yeah, and then click on Foxy Proxy and click Burp 90, make sure 8090. Make sure that's on, and you'll see you instantly get the request on Burp Suite. So I got it from this page, so I can forward that request, and then we can kind of see the requests coming in, and these are just basic HTTP headers. We're gonna get into what they mean more as we use it, but you'll see it pretty much spams you. So I'm gonna close this intercept, let's turn it off real quick, turn this back on, and click submit. So now that I click submit, you'll see it's the regular HTTP header that we saw it, and it says change me at the bottom, and it says EJ is cool. You see that? So that's the parameter that they're using in their application. So we have to do a couple of changes. Let's follow what they wanted us to do. So if I do this, and then do that. So it says first change the method to get. What is our method currently? Post request. It's a post request currently, and let me up the display, the font, make it a little bigger so it's easier. So proxy. Okay. Well, that didn't change anything. So post is in the top left right there. So you just want to change it to get requests. So we're going to change it to get, like that. And then what's the next thing we have to do? Add a header, and it's going to be called x-request-intercepted true. And what is a header? Louder? Louder? Anybody know what a header is? Abir. Yeah. So it gives some type of information usually, right? That about what's happening. So in this case, this header, they probably created it for their web server. That just shows that we did intercept the request, because otherwise there's no way you'll have that header unless you manually entered it. So I'm going to do that. So x-request-intercepted true. I'm going to put a space actually after this. They have lowercase true. Usually you want to put uppercase true or like capital T, but they want it this way, so I'm going to keep it this way. And then finally it says remove the request body and instead change me as a query string parameter and set the value to requests are tampered easily without single quotes. Okay. So instead of this being down here is what they mean. So this is currently a what? It's a query string parameter, and we have to change it into what? Or sorry, this is currently just a whatever, a parameter. So we're going to remove it, and I think they want us to put it up here, right? With a question mark, like that. And then add requests. Well, what I'm going to do actually is teach you guys how to do URL encoding in a second. So I'm going to type requests. What does it say? Are tampered easily. So make sure the capitalization is correct, because on the other page. But you'll see that the first part right here is red, right? I believe this should be correct. I don't know if I'm doing this wrong. Hopefully I'm doing it right. So the first part right here is red, and then it starts going back to black. And the reason that's happening is because you need to URL encode. So what we're going to do is we're going to highlight everything, and then we're going to hit Control U. And then all it does is it's going to replace the spaces with plus signs, because that's how it should be in a URL. Because you shouldn't have spaces in a URL, so it should be good like that. And now that we forward it, and then the spam forward a bunch of times, you'll see at the bottom left it tells me, well done, you tampered the request as expected. Make sense? So we were able to change the request. So this is actually kind of dangerous. I mean, how do we, just a quick discussion, how do we avoid this, all of this? Don't have a website, that's one way. Anybody else? I'm just gonna turn off intercept. Anybody else? Any ideas on how we can avoid all of this?
Use input validation.
Well, no, this isn't a problem. That's not the problem. We didn't really get any access because of the input, but we were able to capture the request and do what? Modify it. So why are we able to modify it?
Well, because we have access to the traffic, we would have that anyway.
Sure. So man in the middle, I guess you can say, but let's say no matter what, someone is going to be able to get their hands on that request. How do we avoid them from tampering with the data? You encrypt it. And how do you encrypt it? Within the web service realm? HTTPS. So this server is running on HTTP. If you had it on with SSL, we wouldn't be able to see what that request was. We wouldn't be able to see that the first part said EJ is cool. It'll just be a bunch of gibberish, and I wouldn't be able to go there and edit it to whatever I wanted because it's encrypted. Make sense? What's up, Jake? Okay, so you want to open it up. Do you already have WebGoat on? Yeah, to open up Burp Suite, look at my screen. You open up Burp Suite, you go to Options. So you go to Proxy, and then you go to Options. Real quick, I'm going to do it with you. Okay, and then you hit Edit. You click on the one over here. Open it in a notepad. Oh, you have it. You have the .sh downloaded. Go to that directory on the terminal. Type bash and then the script, the name. So it's gonna be Burp Suite, whatever.
I'm not getting the, so you know how at the bottom of yours you got the message of like whatever it was, what it exactly said.
Yeah. So what you wanna do real quick, disable the intercept.
Disable the intercept.
Yeah, it's gonna be catching a whole bunch of. So you wanna now turn it on and then quickly click submit. There you go. So it's capturing a whole bunch of requests, and that's why they told us to add the filters. I'm gonna figure out how to add those filters on Burp. That way we're not capturing a whole bunch of random requests constantly. But other than that, we're good. I think actually it'll be done down there somewhere. You got it? It's installing it now? Okay. All right, let's move on.
Okay, you're behind? Okay, let's go.
All right. 7, use the edit and resend functionality. So they're kind of telling us what to do. Let's look at an example. We are going to use the email example from the Webflow introduction lesson. This lesson will generate a request on this page. Okay. So where did they go to get to that page? The email one. Over here? You go to the page I have open right now. Proxy and then options. Where is the email part that they were talking about? What?
Let's see, but then you just show me the header one more time.
You have the .sh file, right? Yeah, I just did the back thing. I just did chmod plus x and then / that, and then you just run it.
Let me see. You want to help him?
Yeah.
Okay, you got him.
I'll show you what I did. No, you're good.
Okay.
So when you're in the
So everyone figured it out. You change the post to get, you add the header, and then you bring this up from here. Actually, it still probably could work down there, but you put it up here, you add a question mark, and then you put change me equals, and then write what they want you to write. Requests are tempered easily, and then highlight everything, put Control U, or another way you could do it is you could right click the screen, and then do URL encode as you type. So now if I do change me up here equals, you'll see that it'll be %3D right away. And then I can do doesn't, or what do they want me to say? Requests are tempered easily. And you'll see it'll kind of do it on its own. What? You could if you want. It wouldn't change anything. Okay, so let's move on. I'm wondering what they want me to do from this side. So this just kind of talks about the repeater function. We'll talk about it in a second. We'll move on from here. We can set it up for HTTPS later, but Burp Suite is pretty good on that. And then this is just manually doing it. It's fine. And then at the end, they talk about Burp very quickly. But we already have a working version of Burp. It's much better in my opinion. Obviously, when you get paid to make a product and get paid well, you're going to make it better. So the Burp people just have a better application. Just use Burp. What is this? So they're going to talk about the developer tools a little bit. We'll get to those in a second. Let me see. Okay. All right, let's full screen this now. So make sure your intercept is off, and then you can turn this off as well. So let us quickly look at this. So who knows what the developer tools are real quick? We'll go through it pretty fast. Developer tools on web pages or web on browsers. Abir, what are developer tools? Developer tools. Yeah. So what do you click to get it? F12. So when we click F12, we're gonna get a whole bunch of options, right? The first one is inspector. It might be called elements or something for you guys. So let's go to the second page, see what they want us to look at. So it's gonna be called elements maybe. If you're on Chrome, I think if you're on their browser, it's gonna be called elements. On Firefox, it's called inspector, and all you can do here is you can look at the HTML code. Another way you can do that is just by clicking Control U on the page, and then you can look at the HTML code hidden in the back, okay? It's very simple, very straightforward. The next page we have, I think that's all of it, right? The next page we have is the console. This is where you can interact with the JavaScript on the page. You'll see there's a whole lot of JavaScript errors happening, but you can try it. So let's type console.log, which is just the print function on JavaScript, and then we'll do hello world. And then semicolon at the end, and then when we press enter, it's just going to print out hello world. That's just a very, very small, simple example. You guys know JavaScript now. So it's cool to look at because sometimes if you need something real quick, like do a quick math problem, like how they're showing, like 1 + 3, or if you're debugging a JavaScript script that they have on their web server, it's good to instantly see that something is off by just testing it in the console because it's running the code already. There's no point in downloading it and hosting it yourself if it's already hosted, right? Yeah, that's true. You can have it click on its own. That's what I did. What's it called? In fact, Jay, where is he? Jay? Yeah, Jay solved the CTF in Dice CTF. He's the only one. The hard one, if you guys remember that one. Yeah, the one really hard one. The extremely hard. Yeah, no, Dice CTF. Yeah, so that one, all he did was print out the function that he saw wasn't being called, which gave him the cookie he needed to get the flag. So he just looked at the JavaScript code and he's like, wait, this is a function that's like this long and nobody's calling it. Let me try calling it in the console, and that gave him the flag. So that was pretty cool. So that's useful in that sense. So let's move on. So it says try it using the console. Let us try using the console. Use the console in the dev tool. So everyone open up your console and call the JavaScript function. So they have a JavaScript function written, and it's called webgo.custom.js.phone-home. And then you should get a response that looks something like whatever they have on the screen. So let's try that out. So they wrote a function for us to try this out. And you'll see it actually has autocomplete. So I have custom.js or custom.js phone, and then I can autocomplete that. And then we have the rest. And then at the end, we have to submit the phone number. So in my case, it is randomly generated in all our cases. So in my case, it's 537282413. So phone home response is this. So I'm just going to copy it and paste it in. And then you'll see that we successfully got the first flag. I guess you can say the second one, because the first one we had to do a couple editing. Okay.
So with the WebGo, do we always need to like shut it down?
Okay. What's up?
Do we always need to shut WebGo down?
If you want, yeah. All you do to shut it down is, yeah, Control C it. So if I want to shut it down, I'll just hit Control C here, but I'm not going to.
Now, well, since we ran both those at once, if we just did just Control C once.
You'll do Control C, and then you'll have access to terminal again, and then you can type exit, and then it's gonna be like, are you sure you want to exit? And then you just do yes, and then it'll kill both. Okay, so next part, it's telling us to look at the sources tab and the network tab. The network tab is literally just gonna show you whatever Burp Suite captures anyways. So that's that. You might also see all the files included that are being run at the same time. Well, let's just look at that real quick. So if I go to the network tab, and then I refresh the page. Oh, I didn't have to refresh it. You'll see it's starting to get everything that it needs for this page to work, right? And it's going to keep doing it a bunch of times. And then the last tab in the developer tools, and then we have to do a request. Okay, so in this assignment, you need to find a specific HTTP request and read a randomized number from it. To start, click the first button. This will generate an HTTP request, so the go. And then try to find that request within this list, okay? So we're gonna hit go, and then it should have wrote it, I'm assuming, somewhere here, up here, right? I'm assuming it's the network one, because that's the only one that stands out from all the other ones that are being made. And then you'll see on the side right here, we'll have our headers, right? And then what do we need from here? So it says, copy the number which is displayed afterwards. So we need our response. So we have to click on response. No response? Okay. Is it not this one? What? Am I missing it? Am I blind?
Request, the third tab.
Oh, oops, there it is. There you go. Thank you. And then you get a request. There you go. Let me copy this. Hit check. And we're good. Usually headers are the request, by the way. That's at least in Burp Suite. If we were actually, let's quickly try it out with Burp Suite. You'll see how much more efficient it is than this. So if I turn on my proxy again up here, and then hit the go button, or make sure my intercept is on first, and hit the go button, and then click forward a couple of times so I see it, you'll see it come up. And you'll see network num is that, and then you'll have that request. So the reason I was looking for it within the headers is because I'm dumb and I thought they were both going to be together. But the request is the headers and everything included. So, but the network tab just splits them up. Make sense? What time is it? Any questions so far? Do you guys think it'd be useful for you guys to practice on your own time? I'm gonna quickly skip I'm gonna stop going through it in the sense of like walkthrough style. I'm gonna skip to the first challenges part because I'm gonna definitely skip the CIA triad part. I think we all know it at this point. But let's go to Sql Injection. I'll tell you why I thought it was really, really cool. First of all, once we get into the actual like part, we skip the intro where it teaches you how to use WebGoat. Like the tutorial section. We get into the Sql injection section, and you'll see everything is red. That means you have to submit something in every single one of these. So it's hands-on the entire time, and also it gives you a concept, it gives you goals, and then if you click on 2, it'll teach you the thing. So in this case, SQL. If you don't already know SQL, it'll teach you SQL, and it'll teach you like, okay, so this is what this query does. This is what that query does. These are what these things stand for, so DDL and DCL. And then it'll be like your turns, and do that. And then if you read everything, you 100% can do what they want you to do, right? And then let's move on to things that you probably have never seen before, like deserialization stuff, which is a whole bunch of Java garbage. But it is really cool, and it's a very hard concept that they make it really easy to understand. Because look at this. You wouldn't look at that and be like, oh, I can do this. But it's actually really easy to understand with the way they describe it. So definitely recommend actually sitting down at home and going through these. It is probably your best practice if you're interested in web exploitation, or if you want to do any web exploitation at all in CTFs. This is like probably as good as it gets to just, first of all, you have a source to learn the material and also practice the material. It's like a 2-in-1, and I think it's better than TryHackMe because it's free. Because TryHackMe with the good ones, they make you pay like $10 a month, which is still not as much. I mean, nowhere near as much as Hack the Box. But this is self-hosted. You can boot it up at any time you want. Literally a single command because you have everything downloaded. And just turn on Burp Suite, and then there's pictures, there's commands, there's walkthroughs. It's really easy, and you'll get really good. We're not going to be doing this every time. I just really wanted to show you guys that you guys can do this on your own time. I thought it'd be good because I noticed, what's the word? What am I trying to say? A lot of people are, I guess, trying to reinvent the wheel. When we have something that I don't need to go in and give you the walkthrough per se every time if it's available. You know what I mean? Another thing I wanted to talk about today was using tools. Right now on Fridays, what we're doing is we're going in, we're learning a new tool, like we did Burp Suite last Friday. We went a lot more in depth than we did today. But we did Burp Suite on Friday, and we really used Burp Suite, and we solved challenges using Burp Suite, right? And this Friday, we're going to be doing the next tool, right? And the reason I'm doing that is, I noticed a trend right now, which is okay because we're all new here, right? When we get to a CTF, we look at the CTF, we have no clue how to start, especially for like simple ones even, right? It's like a very simple SQL injection. We don't even know the basics of a SQL injection. So I felt like we need to have, we need to take a step back and just kind of understand, okay, it's a SQL injection, it's a web-based exploit, so I should have Burp Suite on, right? That should be my first thing to do, because then I need to see what's happening in the back, right? And then you can start fuzzing it out slowly, and this will teach you how to do that step by step all the way until you have everything you need, right? And the other reason I'm saying we should learn tools is because knowing what tool you should use for a CTF is probably like the most important part of doing the CTF. If you get a PCAP that's like a million bytes long, you probably shouldn't use Wireshark. There's a tool that probably goes through and reads all of them, and you can scan for what you want for. Wireshark will just let you look one at a time, and you definitely shouldn't do that. There's CTFs where you have to script, and I know Abir wanted to learn how to script things quickly. For like CTFs that are like, I want you to calculate this math problem, which is like 1 space 2 equals 3, and then you have to figure out what the operation is, whether it's times or plus or whatever. But there's 1,000 of these, and you have to do all of them, and then finally it'll give you the flag, right? So obviously you have to script it, unless you want to spend all day doing it. So that's another thing we'll get to, but that has nothing to do with tools. That's a thing that's on the side, but knowing what tool to use is definitely the most important thing. So I think at this point, moving forward, if you want, you can keep your Ubuntu machine, but we're gonna stick to Kali, because I don't want to go through the installation of new application every single time. And new application, I mean Burp. For the people on Kali, they have Burp installed already. They didn't. We had an error today, but usually it'll be installed. If we wanted to use a tool like SQL Map, which is automatic SQL exploitation, you don't want to sit there and install it on Ubuntu, especially if you have something that's useful, right? And this is going to be the same is going to apply for blue team stuff. If we're going to be doing any forensic stuff, we're just going to be using SIFT from now on, okay? And that is an operating system that has a whole bunch of forensic stuff and more installed. SIFT, S-I-F-T. Is that right? SIFT, yeah. By Sans, yeah. Sans space SIFT. Sans made it. And it's an operating system, and it literally has a whole bunch of tools like volatility and a whole bunch of stuff that I remember me and Christopher were competing in this CTF that will not be mentioned today. And we spent 3 hours of the 6 hours competing setting up volatility, where you could have just booted up a 3 gig virtual machine that has it ready for you. That all you had to do was click volatility and then the vmem file, and then you're in. So we're gonna focus on tools, focus on when to use what tools, focus on that type of thing. And then also, as we're doing that, we understand how these things work and why they work. And in that sense, we just get really good at everything. Make sense? Any questions? Come with a Kali VM. They have a live version. You don't even have to install it. You just download it, and then you can import it, and it's done. Yeah? Parrot's fine. Parrot is the same thing as Parrot is fine. So anything that is offensive, so if you use BlackArch too, it's fine as well. Anything that's an offensive OS that comes with pre-built security tools, we're going to be using that. Because I don't want to waste 45 minutes setting up something. WebGo is different. But we shouldn't have problems with like installing Burp Suite from now on, right?
Should we go into one of those like a link like Kali or Paris and re-download everything?
So Kali has, oh no. So for WebGo, if you want to use it, right? I'm saying use Kali. If you want to use WebGo, stick to the Ubuntu one. Just boot it up on Ubuntu. Just change localhost to 0000, so 0.0.0.0, and then you'll be able to access it from your Kali machine, right? So you'll have to use 2 machines. If you don't want to do that, you can stick to it. The only thing you'll need is Burp Suite, so you can just stick to using it anyways. But starting next week, if we're going to do a different topic, like if we're going to be talking about binary exploitation at all, which I'm going to skip for a little while. I know that's a hard topic. I know the people that went to Ghost's meeting had their head explode, but we'll get to binary exploitation, but definitely we're going to be using Kali because it has a whole bunch of tools for binary analysis. There's no point in sitting there and wasting an hour of our time installing it. Okay? So, any questions? We're pretty much done for today. I do recommend all of you, I know you guys have school and you guys want to party and you guys want to hang out and you guys want to chill and you guys want to play Elden Ring. Please sit down and do WebGo. It is so useful. You will get so good at web exploitation. Literally, if you finish all 82 challenges on there, I promise you can get a job. Like if you can, first of all, you can post on LinkedIn like I finished all the WebGo challenges, no write-up, and you can lie. I'm just kidding. Don't lie. Don't lie. Also, if you're really, really stuck, look at a write-up. That's fine, 100%. Stop feeling like I should know this by now. No, there's no such thing. Just look at a write-up. And when I say look at a write-up, don't read the entire thing. Don't like literally just like completely find every solution possible. Read just enough to like push you into the right direction. Like let's say, for example, the write-up says, like you're using Zap, right? And the write-up, the guy's using Burp. Like just switch to Burp and then try it again. And if it works with Burp, then you're probably on the right track. You know what I mean? Maybe it's just an application problem. It might be just a tool problem. The guy's using a different tool than you. Or they added an extra semicolon and you didn't have that. And that could make the whole difference. And then you can keep going without the write-up. And then you're stuck again. You go back to the write-up, et cetera, right? What else? Please practice. I'm gonna be signing up for a whole lot of cybersecurity CTF competitions. And then I'm gonna need to get names. What we're gonna do this time around is we're gonna mix 50% people that have experience, 50% that aren't experienced. That way, everyone gets experience, even if it's a beginner CTF. That way, we have someone that can help you out if you're stuck and that type of thing. Because I know the cyber games people, if they had 2 people that knew anything about blue teaming on the team, they would have went a lot further in that competition. They did well, but they would have went further. So yeah. You could have said something, man. All right. I'll see you guys Friday. If you guys have no more questions, please do WebGo. And then I'm gonna put the code up again. I think I still have it, maybe. Code. Scan. If you haven't scanned, scan.
See, when do you expect to start sign up for the CTF, like after spring break?
CTF? I'm gonna sign up right now, and then whenever they tell me send me your team, I'm gonna send teams. I'm gonna ask you guys. So once we're confirmed that we're gonna compete, I'm gonna ask. All right, I'm gonna end the stream now. I hope you guys had a good one. Love you guys. Peace.